So guys and girls out there, we're going to be talking a little bit about how JP is actually ruining the global side of the game. And it's mostly because of expectations, a little bit of false promises, and misunderstanding a few things about the game. So I've noticed there's been a lot of hate towards this recent banner, this Blue Elizabeth banner. Everyone's saying, oh, this banner is garbage, skip it. You know, I've seen some of the bigger YouTubers saying skip it, but I've seen a lot of other smaller YouTubers that are saying that it's a great banner. You should go into it at least a couple times, maybe one full rotation, etc., etc. So there's a lot of different points of views on this latest banner. I've received quite a bit of hate on me saying to go at least one rotation. And the reason for that was to actually pick up Blue Elizabeth. Now, the reason for that is people are misunderstanding a big thing in this game. They're expecting this big new banner to drop every single week, but honestly, free-to-plays cannot keep up or afford it. We do not get enough diamonds in this game for free-to-plays to keep up with a strong banner every single week or even every other week. Whales, obviously, that does not matter. They're going to go into every banner that there is. But there's one thing you need to understand if you are free to play and you want to be able to compete with the next wave of, the meta, when that next big change happens. And that'll probably be the Pierce meta, unless we get Red King beforehand, which would be absolutely hilarious, but I don't think that's going to happen from a business standpoint. That would not make sense for Netmarble if they're trying to make money. But anyways, so let's talk about Blue Lilia. Everyone that I can think of and around in the community that has been following, well, at least the YouTubers anyways, for Grand Cross, they probably know about Blue Lilia. And they're saying, save for Blue Lilia. She's going to be a step up. She's a must-have. Go for her. She's broken. Go, 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 go. We heard these same things about Escanor. And now nobody talks about Escanor, right? I'm noticing a lot of players are not using Escanor that pulled Escanor. And you know why that reason is? Because they misunderstand how this game actually works. When you pull a new unit, you're pulling a unit 1 out of 6, unless you go back in for dupes or you get multiple copies, by being blessed by RNG. What they don't realize is when you pull a new unit and you're trying to climb in PvP, because this seems to be the big argument, is to climb PvP, you're not going to be able to climb very far with a 1 out of 6 unit. As good as Escanor is, a 1 out of 6 ult versus a team that has a 6 out of 6 ult, who do you think is going to be doing more damage? Who do you think is going to be doing more CC? Which means who do you think is going to be going first? And going first turn can mean a lot in this game. And I mean a lot. And speaking of going first turn, the Blue Demon Meliodas and Lilia team is a first turn team. They are an AoE cleave team. Their job is to go in and basically 2-tap with Blue Demon Meliodas and be done with it. Okay? That's the whole point of the team. It is a cleave team. And if you're unfamiliar with how a cleave team works, they do a bunch of AoE damage and wipe your team as fast as possible, not allowing you to have any kind of opportunity for a comeback. That is what the Blue Demon Meliodas and Lilia team does. Now, the funny thing is, one of the best budget counters to that, a team that doesn't actually rely all that much on having high CC, is the Blue Elizabeth team that everyone was clamoring saying was garbage. Yet, if you're free to play and you're looking for a really good budget counter, Blue Elizabeth is that counter. But, who cares? Why think logically, right? Let's complain. Let's say the banner's trash, because you don't know exactly what you're talking about. She is going to get better with time. When we go into an AoE meta, she's going to be amazing, and a lot of people is going to regret not having her, especially if you're free to play and you're looking for a good budget counter to climb PvP or to stay relevant in PvP so you can maintain, your consistent ranking that you might be going for, currently. Because when that meta changes, it's going to change in a big way, and you might not be prepared. And if you're free to play and you're looking for a budget, a nice cheap option, Blue Elizabeth is probably the best budget build counter for that said team. Obviously, Red King would be another solid option, but He's going to be a unit you're also going to have to pull for and hope to pull if they do it the same, as they did on the other versions. But who knows when he drops, because obviously in Global, they are dropping these banners in a little bit of a different order. But the main point with that is, don't discount a unit just because you don't think that it's an OP, must-have unit. You also got to think about the future potential of that unit, how you can utilize that unit. So, all the people out there that were in my comment section, especially saying, oh, you need to skip Blue Elizabeth, she's not free to play. That's not a unit you go for if you're free to play. You got to go for Lilia, you got to go for Blue Demon Meliodas. Let me tell you right now, Lilia and Blue Demon Meliodas are not going to be free to play friendly. You're going to want to pull 6 copies of Lilia to 6 out of 6er as fast as possible. Blue Demon Meliodas, kind of a similar situation. Because like I said, that team wants to go first. Unless you want to sit there and try to run ult food over and over again, which is really just fluff, not really giving you those big stats that you really want to already have, and base CC, then I don't know what else really to tell you. Because what a lot of these big YouTubers are not telling some of these people that are hyping up that these are must-pull banners is the amount of dupes that you actually need and the importance of a dupe in this game. You need a lot of dupe investment, cosmetic investments, and you need specified gear to make some of these teams work going forward. And I don't think this is being said to free-to-plays enough, and I think it's twisting in their mind into believing that they're just going to pull the unit and they're good to go. That's not how this game is operating. If you're going into PvP and you're playing a bunch of people that have spent money or diamonds on cosmetics and or obviously getting additional dupes, you're going to run into a lot of problems. And I just don't think that that is being mentioned enough. And it's a big problem here on Global because everyone's just seeing what JP players are doing with their UR gear, their level 80 units, and they're seeing these teams that are 170, 200k and watching how amazing they can be, but you're not being realistic to free-to-play players and what their real expectations should be. The reasonable expectations. Those teams are not going to do that for free-to-plays because they're not going to have that specified gear. They're not going to have that much CC because they're not going to have that many dupes or cosmetics. So we have to be a little bit more realistic here, guys. So I'm basically just trying to bring that attention to the forefront, to the front here, because I just don't think that it's talked about enough. And I think it's a real major problem that a lot of us are just disregarding. And I've noticed it. And I'm being in a lot of hate and a lot of flack because I was saying, hey, Blue Elizabeth's actually a pretty good unit to go for. She's a really good counter unit. And you're like, oh, no, she's trash. Blue Lilia, Blue Demon, Blue Lilia, Blue Demon. If we keep with that mindset and we don't explore and actually think about how these units can be utilized, we're just going to be sitting there every week, every time a new banner comes and goes, we're going to be saying to free-to-plays and other players, okay, now let's go ahead and let's wait for Red Escanor. Let's wait for Estarossa. Let's wait for Lost Vein Meliodas, which, by the way, on JP, if you guys want to know, cost 900 diamonds for his pity. So, yeah. And they did it completely out of nowhere, did not tell you who was coming ahead of time, so you did not have any time to prepare. So just keep that in mind, guys. Yeah, we do a lot of talking about skip, and wait. Well, yeah. And then we also got, of course, the latest Blue Demon, the Blue Zeldris, who's also in a fantastic unit. So, and Diriiri, almost forgot about Red Diriiri, one of the best PvE, if not the best PvE units in the game. So, you have all of these units that you got to look at, guys, and you got to think how many times you're going to have to try and pull for these units, when they're going to drop, how many diamonds you're going to have to even try, because a lot of these banners are not step up. They are just normal raid up pity banners. You do your 180 to guarantee your pity SSR, so you can go into these banners with hundreds, if not thousands, and not pull any of those units. And if you keep saving and not summoning, your box is always going to be pretty damn low for when Training Cave comes around, which I assume should be soon. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of variables, a lot of moving parts that you need to understand. And cosmetics are huge. There are so many cosmetics out there that you need to try and pick up for some of your high tier units, and that's just another diamond sink. that people are not thinking about. And another thing that makes some of these units really good. And you're going to need those cosmetics. And a lot of people are not getting those cosmetics because, again, they're under the impression that they can just pull one unit one time and they're good. And unfortunately, it does not work like that in this game. You need to invest into your characters a lot. Another big thing people are not taking into account with Blue Lilia, for example, and Blue Demon Meliodas, is they need specialized gear. You're not going to run your prototypical just, HP, defense, attack, blah, 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 blah on those two units. They both want pierce rate. Okay? Now, with Lilia, you can run attack defense with substats pierce rate. You can run HP defense with substats pierce rate. You could run just all defense with all substats pierce rate. However you want to go about building your Lilia, but you definitely are going to need pierce rate on Lilia because that's how she makes the team work. That's how you get the most out of her passive and the most out of Blue Demon Meliodas. Blue Demon Meliodas, you're going to need to build him attack, defense, attack, crit damage with, of course, pierce substats. So, if you're building up a Hauser right now, you might have that gear set ready to go for him, perhaps, but you definitely are going to need it. And you're going to need both those gear sets individually for both those units to make that team work. And that's, again, before you try to get cosmetics, you try to get their dupes, obviously, and build up all that gear. So that team is very expensive, and that's something that people are not talking about. And that's just that team, that specific team. And as I said in my one video where I did Red King versus Blue Demon Meliodas, if you don't pull Lilia, Blue Demon Meliodas is nothing more than a glorified farm unit. So at that point, you will not even summon for him if you don't have Lilia. And Lilia is a limited banner if she's anything like on JP's side, since, everyone likes to just keep comparing JP, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Then, that's a problem that we're going to have there. And then you're going to have to go through her step-up rotation several times to try and get multiple copies as much as you can. And it's going to be very expensive. Whereas with a unit like Blue Elizabeth that everyone shit on, you only need one copy. You don't need dupes for her because of the way she works. Now, I feel that actually with more, team building and a little bit more strategy, you could probably pull more out of her at 75 and build her up to be a really strong unit because she has a lot of stuff in her skill set. But if you want to go with the whole just, go in and suicide out and force those ults, she works amazing for that too. But either way, she is a budget build that people completely discounted and discredited because the JP whatever faithful said so. Why? I don't know. So I just wanted to kind of break that down because I've seen a lot of people that were claiming to be free to play complaining that the Lilia and Blue Demon Meliodas were the way to go. And in fact, for free to play, that's going to be very, very expensive of a team to try to build and not very budgety like the Blue Elizabeth would be in that current meta. So that's just one big thing that I want to talk about. I just don't think it's talked about enough because I just see it a lot on Twitter, on Facebook, in the Discord servers, obviously on my comment sections and other YouTubers' comment sections, that I just don't think people are actually sitting down and thinking about how expensive these units really are investment-wise. Because you have to farm up the gear, okay? You have to build up the gear. It's going to take a lot of RNG. Several levels of RNG goes into just building one set of gear. It is very expensive and time consuming. And when I say expensive, that doesn't mean just money, but that means time, resources, and a lot of patience, dedication, all that stuff goes into it. Okay? And you're going to have to make two specialized sets of gear that you're not going to really use on many other units, if any other units at all, for those two particular units for that team. Now, at least in the case of Lilia, she's amazing on her own and a lot of other areas of the game like PvE, but Blue Demon Meliodas without Lilia hits like a wet noodle. In that case, Red Demon Meliodas is actually superior, and he's a coin shop unit. So, there you go. And, yeah. So hopefully I got my point across. Hopefully that makes, hopefully a lot of you understand that. But that's just a big problem with JP existing, is everybody's just looking at JP as this reference sheet, something that they can take into account when going forward with their own personal accounts on global, but they're not looking at the actual analytical side, the actual nitty gritty, the details, the stats, how much you are having to put in to said units to make that team work, to make it look as good as you see them in videos. So I just wanted to get that out there because I just don't think a lot of people understand. Hopefully I convinced some of you. Hopefully I changed some of your minds. I know we got a lot of haters out there. Honestly, hate if you want to hate, but you need to understand the numbers don't lie. They don't lie. And, you know, you just don't want to go into PvP unprepared, thinking that you pull this unit once and you're ready to go and it's just going to work right out of the gate. It doesn't work like that. You need investment, and these investments are expensive. So you got to be careful. You got to be smart. Do what you got to do. But I'm just saying, a lot of people that were shitting all over that Blue Elizabeth, some of you may regret it in the future, because if you are truly free to play or a very casual spender, especially if you're a casual player and don't want to spend a lot of time on this game day in and day out, Blue Elizabeth was actually a pretty good pickup for when that meta does drop, because she counters it pretty hard. But whatever. It is what it is. I just was trying to, you know, get something out there for you guys. Hopefully you guys do understand. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to be logical here and help a lot of you out, because that is my goal at the end of the day. But anyways, I'm going to talk to you guys and gals out there in the next one. If you guys did understand the video, the point of the video, definitely let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, go ahead and like it. If you have not yet subscribed, tick notifications, join us in the Discord description below. If you guys want to play the game in beautiful full screen, use my affiliate BlueStacks link in the description below. It's free and it helps the channel out. And that's going to be it for me. Until next time, have an awesome day as always. Peace.